Welcome to This Explainer, 8th graders. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because today you are stepping into a brand new role. You aren't just students anymore. You are officially text detectives. We're going to master a critical skill that will entirely change the way you read, the way you learn, and honestly, the way you understand the world around you. So grab your imaginary magnifying glasses because we're hunting for clues. So, what do detectives, great readers, and people of faith all actually have in common? Think about that for just a second. A detective walking onto a crime scene, a reader immersed in a thick book, and a person walking out their daily faith. It might seem like a totally random grouping, but they all share one incredible superpower: the ability to read between the lines. They look beyond what's right in front of their faces to find the hidden, deeper truths. And that is exactly the superpower we're unlocking for you today. Okay, let's dive right into this and anchor our learning today with Proverbs 1:5. It says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance." You see, becoming a wise reader and really a wise person isn't just about absorbing a bunch of facts. It's about increasing in understanding. It's about seeking that deeper guidance. And that starts with the exact skill we're unpacking right now. To get you completely ready for your homework assignments and your reading journey ahead, here's our quick roadmap. We're going to cover what an inference is, literary versus informational texts, the steps to make inferences, why inference matters, faith as spiritual inference, and finally, education fused with morality. Let's get to it. Section 1. What is an inference? The art of reading between the lines. All right, here's your baseline definition for your homework. An inference is basically the process of drawing a conclusion based on evidence and reasoning, rather than directly stated facts. Notice what's missing from that definition. Guessing. An inference is absolutely never a random wild guess. You're acting on hard evidence, the clues left behind by the author, and you're combining that with your own logical reasoning to figure out what the author is saying, without them having to explicitly spell it out for you. Moving right along to Section 2, literary versus informational texts. Different scenes, same detective skills. Now, what's really interesting here is how your specific clues actually change depending on the genre you're reading. Think about it like this. If you're reading a literary text, like a novel, a poem, or a play, the author hides clues in figurative language, in how a character acts, or in vivid imagery. But if you flip over to an informational text, say a science article, a historical report, or an essay, the clues are entirely different. You're going to find them in statistics, in the specific examples the author chooses to include, and in the factual wording they use. But here's the real kicker. Even though the clues change completely, your detective skills stays exactly the same. Let's do a little practice. Here's a classic literary text example. The clue in the book says, "Her hands trembled as she unfolded the letter." Now, notice the author didn't spoon-feed you and write, "She was extremely nervous and scared about what the letter said." Instead, they gave you an action, trembling hands. Using your reasoning, you connect trembling hands with nervousness, and you make the inference, she feels anxious. Boom! You just literally read between the lines. Now, let's switch gears and look at an informational text. The clue this time is a statistic. 70% of teens prefer online learning. Now, an uninformed reader just reads that number and keeps scrolling. But a text detective, you stop and ask, okay, what does that actually mean? By applying that same analytical brainpower, you draw an inference. Most teens surveyed value the flexibility of digital education. The numbers are speaking to a much broader trend, and you successfully found it. All right, Section 3, Steps to Make Inferences, your 3-part toolkit. Here's the universal action plan you need for your assignments. Step 1, find clues in the text. Physically spot them, highlight them, underline them. Step 2, connect them to what you know. This is your background knowledge coming into play. If the text says dark clouds gathered, you already know from your own life that means rain is coming. Step 3, support your inference with evidence. If someone asks you why you think something, you point right back to the text to prove it. So the really crucial takeaway here is that this exact 3-step process works flawlessly no matter what genre you happen to be tackling. Section 4. Why inference matters. Real-world applications. Learning to infer makes you an incredibly versatile, critical reader, for sure. But it goes way beyond the classroom. It actually protects you out in the real world. Think about when you read a news report, a legal contract, or even complicated instructions. People aren't always going to clearly spell out their underlying motives or the fine print implications for you. You have to infer them. This skill is absolutely essential for making informed life decisions. It keeps you sharp, keeps you aware, and prevents you from being easily fooled by whatever is just sitting there on the surface. Section 5. Faith as spiritual inference. Seeing the unseen. Take a look at Hebrews 11:1. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This brilliantly illustrates the ultimate connection we're making today. You see, making inferences in reading is remarkably similar to applying faith in your life. In both of these cases, you are actively choosing to believe something is true and having confidence in it, based on evidence that isn't always directly seen or explicitly stated. Just as we train our brains to hunt down clues in a novel or a science article, we're also training our hearts to look for God's hand in our daily lives. You probably won't always see the entire picture of what God is doing right now. In fact, your situation might feel like a total mystery sometimes. But by looking at the evidence, His goodness, His past faithfulness in your life, and the rock-solid promises in His Word, you can confidently infer that He is working things out for your good. It's the exact same detective work, just applied to the greatest truth of all. Section 6. Education fused with morality. The HeroesMart philosophy. So here's a hard truth we've got to talk about. Education without morality hurts. You can completely master making inferences. You can get straight A's. You can be the absolute smartest person in the room. But honestly, what is the point of being highly educated if you continue to make bad, immoral choices that end up hurting yourself and the people around you? Being smart simply isn't enough on its own. Biblical morality has to intertwine with your academic learning. When you pair a really sharp, educated mind with a strong moral compass, that is when you become truly unstoppable. And this builds right into an incredible promise from Scripture. Romans 8:6-7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their minds spiritual. That's the ultimate goal here, right? When you fuse your education with godly morality, you aren't just gaining facts and knowledge, you're actually securing peace for yourself. And that is exactly what we want you to experience as you engage with your studies. So 8th graders, as you jump into your homework today, I want to leave you with this final, really vital question to think about. Are you just getting smart? Or are you actually learning to find the deeper truth in your texts and in your life? Use these inference skills to crush your assignments for sure. But way more importantly, use them to seek wisdom, to recognize God's hand in your story, and to live a life full of peace and strong moral choices. Keep those magnifying glasses handy, text detectives. You've totally got this.